Welcome to London, Trafalgar Square, and thank you everybody for all your art and antiques related questions. Keep them pouring in. I love them. Test me. But today's question is a beauty, and it's poured in from all over the world. And that question is this: what antiques should we be looking for today that are going to come good tomorrow? It's all about the money. Here we go. I'm going to give you 3 very good top tips. Actually, before I give you the 3 top tips, I assume if you want antiques as an investment, you're going to want to live with them in your home. So it sort of goes without saying, over and above the next 3 top tips, buy what you like. Right? Don't buy what you hate, because you've got to live with them. Here we go. Top tip number 1. And we're going to start with modern items. So which modern items should you be buying right now that may well come good in the future and make good investments? Right. Okay, so first of all, you've got to understand that the thing that makes antique objects potentially valuable and desirable is their rarity value. So made in small numbers, and of course over time objects have been lost and destroyed, reducing those numbers. So if you're going to be looking for something modern that you want to live with and you think is going to become potentially a good investment, then think of rarity. In other words, look for objects that are made in small numbers. And then hand in hand with small numbers, you get quality, because rarity and quality is absolutely everything. So completely avoid mass-made fashion stuff and stick with the small bespoke makers. Furniture, glass, pottery, handmade, by the artist, buy from the artist, all of that. It all makes sense. So rarity and quality, and something that screams the period it's in. So if you're buying in 2022, make sure that the item looks like it was made in 2022, not a reproduction from another period. So in time, people will get a snapshot of today by looking at that object made that sums up today's world and period. I hope that makes sense. This is going to be an expensive way to do it, by the way, because objects that are rare, handmade, made in small numbers, are going to be expensive. So this is going to cost you a bit of money. So now I'm going to move on to top tip number 2. This is going to be the cheapest way for you to buy antiques today that are going to be valuable antiques tomorrow. So here we go. Here comes top tip number 2. And top tip number 2 is going to sound possibly a little strange and eccentric, because the very best antiques to buy today to become valuable antiques of tomorrow are genuine antiques. I know, it just sounds utterly bonkers, but it's true. Antiques, traditional pieces, furniture, pictures, pottery, china, all sorts of stuff that you can imagine from the 18th, 19th and early 20th century have never in real terms been as cheap as they are today. But they are on the move, so you've got to get in there quickly. Let me give you a couple of examples. It's all about fashion. You know, fashions have just changed over the last 20 years. We've gone minimalist. Now we're going back to glamour and colour and quality. That's where we're going. So I'll give you a couple of examples of how the market has dipped and how it is now on the turn. So 2 years ago, I bought 3 Georgian mahogany chests of drawers for a property project I was working on, dating to about 1800, proper antiques, 220 years old. I paid between 110 and 150 pounds per chest of drawers. Bonkers beyond comprehension. 20 years ago, they would have been 10 times the money, £1,000 at least. So 2 years ago, 110 to 150. Now the same chests of drawers are making between 200 and 300 pounds. So the market is on the turn and it's going up. So As crazy as it sounds, antiques of old are now the things to buy to become the great investments of the future. Makes sense to me if you think about it. Right, let's get on to the final tip. And this is probably the most important and applies to tip 1 and tip 2. Here comes tip 3. It's research. That is top tip number 3. If you're going to be making an investment into anything, you, as we've already discussed, are going to be buying objects that you like. So researching objects that you like is actually very easy. It's very enjoyable, and every hour you spend researching something is an hour incredibly well spent. So put some time in, just watch videos, read books, learn whatever you can about the items that you are going to invest in, because knowledge is power. The more information you get, the more of an expert you become in your field of collecting, the better you will be at spotting the bargains. And when it comes to investing in antiques of today or tomorrow, it's the bargains. Guess what? It's the bargains that make the best investments. So research, it's easy to do if you like what you're researching, but don't stop once you've bought an object. Continue researching. Let me give you an idea. When I first started out buying and selling Georgian furniture, once I'd bought a bureau, a chest of drawers, I'd take it home or to the shop and I'd spend hours crawling underneath the thing, looking at its construction. I'd work out whether the screws or the nails were original, the colour of the staining, the way it was put together, the kind of animal glues that were used. All of this information just logged in my head because I was interested in learning. And I can't begin to tell you how much money that has made me over the years, because then I would go out into the world and I would find original, beautiful, untouched pieces of furniture that nobody else had spotted because I knew what to look for underneath. So there you have it. 3 top tips. The third one is the most important. Buy things that you like, and then the research will be easy. So there you have it. Good luck with investing in antiques right now for the future. Keep the questions pouring in, everybody. I'm David Harper from London. Cheerio.